On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
I don't even like snuggling. I don't like none of that stuff. Like, hey, that's your seat. I sit here. We good. I ain't trying to get all hot. We ain't gotta be holding no hands. Hell, we sharing the bed. You ain't gotta be all on my side. We can touch feet, but you don't need it like this. My arm dead.
You are
No,
so
I don't
stupid.
even like kissing like that. Like, not even in public, in private.
Nix,
Like, that shit
what do
lame,
you like,
man.
Nick?
Like,
No, what, can we know what you like?
not that. None of that,
You
man.
only
Like,
know
hey, be your own person. Like, we
you
good.
can't
You
cuddle,
in
you
this
can't
relationship.
cuddle, you don't kiss, you don't touch, don't like, don't look at
We
me.
just got the title.
Nah, I don't need none of that. Like, hey, you ready? We gonna have sex. That's what we gonna do. All right, cool. You ready? All
Oh,
right,
that's
I'm
so
ready.
funny.
That's it. I don't need that.
Welcome to Lapeef. Let's talk. On that note, if you guys just join us, moving on to our final topic, which is my partner wants to be around me 24/7. I said it again. My partner wants to be around me 24/7. So this is a conversation that I've had, a little sad conversation that I've had with several people, and a lot of times, to me, I feel as though how you enter the relationship is how it turns out to be. A lot of people feel as though that they have to be under one another. I don't agree with that. I feel like everybody needs their personal space. I feel like you have to get out and do you, so to speak. And I mean, it necessarily means you have to be disrespectful to a relationship, but I do believe in the power of actually spending time with yourself, doing things that you like without your significant other. So I wanted to get your opinion that time. How do you feel about that when it comes to my partner wants to be around me 24/7?
I agree with you 100%, and that I'm not the one. Like, I'm not the one to listen. I understand the idea behind the desire of wanting to be around me, or me wanting to be around you, because that's just the love that we have for each other. But listen, you're gonna have to get some friends, boo. You're gonna have to learn yourself. You're gonna have to step out of your comfort zone and be more than just us. Because the best version of you actually helps create the best version of us. I believe that people need to go out and find themselves and spend time doing things outside of just what your partner is requiring, because that means that every single thing that you do and every single feeling that you have and your ups and downs are going to be 100% defined by the person that you're with 100% of the time.
Mm.
And so I don't think that that's fair to yourself, and I don't think that's fair to the person that you're with. I think that, you know, in addition to that, absence makes the heart grow fond. Like, let me miss you a little bit, at least a little bit. Like, it don't even have to be a whole lot, but let me miss you a little bit. And I want you to be your own person. I don't want who you are to be defined by me 100%. Right? Of course, I feel like we are awesome as a unit. However, I want you to be a phenomenal woman, and I can't help you be a phenomenal woman in every single way, because I don't understand women to the extent that maybe somebody else may help you become a better version of yourself. You may need a mentor that don't even look like the person that you are. You may need, a trainer, and I can't help you in that specific area or avenue in your life. So you need to, honestly, I believe that people need to. Now, there is another side of the spectrum to where people get too extreme, and then they don't never want to. They just want to check in once a month. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you got to have temperance in everything, and too much of anything can be a bad thing. I don't care if it's the healthiest thing in the world. Too much of anything can be bad for you.
Mhm, mhm.
Hey, Nix, I had one of my guys was in the car with me, and he was like, "Man, I gotta hold on, don't say nothing. I gotta call. I gotta call her. I gotta let her know that I'm with you." So, do you feel as though it's a trust issue when it comes to the woman wanting to be around the guy 24/7?
I think it's a security thing, possibly. Sometimes, some people feel that they have to be around you to feel secure that you're theirs, and that, they have no other fears. But I think that, like, acting out of fear, behaving out of fear is not sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
It's annoying. It's a turn off, and it's probably not going to last long. I mean, but don't get me wrong. I've seen people, friends of mine that like they're there as a tandem. They're lockstep all the time, with with their matching T-shirts on to go to Great America. That group, right? So that's not me, So I think that I want to make sure that I'm with someone that is not like that. I feel like Anton mentioned it in our earlier segment. I talked about high value or whatever we want to call it. That I want somebody that's an independent thinker. You're more of a partner, but I don't want your life to be defined by us. I want you to be your own person. Have your own friends. We could have like mutual get-togethers and shindigs, but your friends are your friends, my friends are my friends, and we got a mutual respect for each other. I don't want none of that. And I think that some people define who they are through the person that they're with. And that's the part, to me, I feel like that's a flaw. It's a deficit in that person. And honestly, it's some esteem issues, the security. So it's not just the security of like from the aspect of like cheating or something like that. It's like a insecurity they have of defining who they are as a person, that they feel that they have to be around this person to define who they are, that is, and what's their life purpose. That's a project that I would not want to be a part of. Like it's a headache. It's annoying. Hey, we on the couch. I don't even like snuggling. I don't like none of that stuff. Like, hey, that's your seat. I sit here. We good. I ain't trying to get all hot. We ain't gotta be holding no hands. Hell, we sharing the bed. You ain't gotta be all on my side with the touch feet. But you don't need it like this. My arm dead. No, I don't even like kissing like that. Like, not even in public, in private. Like,
what do you like, Nick?
Like, can we know what you like?
Not that. None of that, man. Like, hey, be your own person. Like, we good.
We can't cuddle. You can't cuddle. You don't kiss. You don't touch. Don't like. Don't look at me.
Got the title.
No, I don't need none of that. Like, hey, you ready? We gonna have sex. That's what we gonna do. All right, cool. You ready? All right, I'm ready. That's it. I don't need that. That don't do it for me, man. It's a turn off. I don't need to snuggle. I don't want to be held.
You don't need all that.
No, none of that. Like, no, you like, hey, we individuals, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a turn off for me, man. Miss me with that. I ain't the one.
Yeah.
I swear I'm not.
You so stupid. I love it.
Hey, I believe you, man.
I believe you too.
It's somebody out there for everybody, as y'all can see, right?
That was hilarious.
Facts, though. It came from the heart.
I honestly believe that. It came from your heart.
Hey, Tawana, my partner wants to be around me 24/7. How do you feel about that?
Let me tell you something. Okay, so I can't really add more to what Anton and B Nick said. It's absolutely just 100% correct in a lot of ways. But what I will say is that I've noticed that with a lot of women, that what they will do is separate from their friends, right? To like just be totally up under this guy, because I think they think that it will keep him around somehow, and it'll make him, they're always available. They're always there, right? When he's ready. And so, yeah, they essentially turn their lives to just be centered around this relationship. And it's so weird to me that women do that and like literally will stop, hanging with their friends and stop interacting. And it's been many women just in my personal life, or just women that I've noticed that's done that. That's why I'm speaking to women, because I just don't know a lot of men who do that, who separate their friends from their friendships. Most men, they maintain their friendships throughout their relationships. And so, like, I've always prided myself in like keeping contact with my friends and like keeping my friends and my circle tight, and always maintaining that relationship, and like always having my life outside of my relationship. And I just think it's so important. And it's like, why, like some of my friends struggle with relationships. Some of my, my close knit circle, they struggle with relationships because they really center themselves around that person, versus like having your own life and just like having that person kind of learn about you and fit into your life. So it's so unhealthy to be in a relationship that is 24/7 centered around someone else. Like, you have to have your own life, your own hobbies, your own desires and wants and needs. And so I absolutely think that that is a codependent relationship. It's very unhealthy. And I've seen it on both sides. Like I've seen men who constantly want to be around women all the time. Like you want to be all up under her. You know, she needs to come everywhere with you and you got to know where she at 24/7. And when she's away from you, it's like you got to call her 5,000 times to see what she's doing. And even when she's just with like friends or family. So, I mean, I've just seen that unhealthy codependency, and it is really just something I don't know why, you know, you would want to create that space for yourself. But some people do. And obviously, you know, there's reasons why people are attracted to those types of relationships. But yeah.
Hey, Tawana, since you're the woman on the panel, I want to ask you your opinion. If you had some advice to give out there to the men that you spoke about just now, as far as them wanting to be around that woman 24/7, want to know every move, can you just break down in detail how that makes you feel from the woman's perspective?
You know, the instances that I can just recall right now where the men were so reliant on the woman, where they really didn't let them have a social life. They kept them in the house. They had, you know, a lot of restrictions on who they could date, who they could talk to, who they could interact with. Eventually, those women left those men, you know, and they felt it's not abuse to an extent. It could be, right? You could be in a toxic, abusive situation, but it's just really a lot of control. And no one wants to feel controlled. No one wants to feel like you can't be trusted. And I don't think that you should be in a relationship if you can't trust your partner and you can't give them room and give them space to be themselves. And so, you know, just imagine just being, constantly being controlled, constantly being questioned, and constantly, being demanded, you know, to do certain things to make your partner happy. And I think a lot of women do it, assuming that, you know, this will keep the relationship, you know, happy, and, you know, they'll get the things that they want out of the relationship. Eventually they realize that they'd rather be at peace than to be in that situation and be controlled. And so that peace takes precedence over all of the other things that you give or provide to that person in that relationship. And you see women leave really good, financially stable situations to be on their own because they felt controlled and they felt like they didn't have room to be themselves in that relationship. So no one wants to feel control. Just like men don't want to feel control, you know, women don't either.
That's
can't hold these women, bro. Like, listen, bro. If she want to be free, then she not yours, bro. I mean, it just is what it is.
Right.
And you gonna have to learn to let go, and more importantly, you can't prevent anything from happening by smothering it, bro.
That's right.
All you're gonna do is make the fire bigger. It's almost like it reminds me of, I don't know, man. I never understood why people felt the need to hinge on to somebody's every single move, as though, and I'm speaking from the perspective of a guy, because I've seen guys like be checking in on their chicks, they gotta know where they at. Fam, like, so what, you gonna watch her 24/7? It's 365 days a year, every single day, 24 hours a day. And then what's that do? Like, if I want to be a woman that's actually my chick, like somebody that I can see myself as a life partner with, or somebody that I want to have a relationship with, then that means that I want to be able to trust them. I don't want to have to chase them down and be, you know, finding every move. Yo, that's too much work. That sounds like a whole nother job, man. Like, I'm not doing that. And if I have to do that, then we shouldn't be together. So I encourage, I got married pretty early. I encouraged, my chick to, go and hang out with her. I don't even like her really like that, but I might have a common interest in the fact that y'all both really like shopping. Go shop, fam. Like, that's not hurting me. It don't mean nothing to me. and you gonna determine whether or not y'all gonna do y'all thing long term as far as how y'all friendship is gonna manifest. I don't care. I don't care about now. I don't want you hanging out with no chick that's putting you in a negative, really bad, dirty position. And that's the balance because everything is balance. Always a balance to whatever you're doing. But I'm not chasing nobody, bro. Not
Right.
one person lifetime. I'm not chasing nobody.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I think that you hit it right on the head. I think a lot of people let individuals in their lives, and it's not even just men and women, because I've seen men control that. I've seen women control that. I think they allow them to choose their friends and choose their circle and tell them who and who they cannot deal with. And I think that it's important to note, yeah, like this person is not good for you because this is the things that I've seen, versus you just saying, I don't like your friend and I don't want her around because she the pretty friend, she attracts dudes. And I have had people who've done that, like who have told my friends not to be friends with me because I'm the pretty chick that attracts dudes, right? Like it's weird because I'm like, but I would never encourage you to cheat on your boyfriend. Like I would never do anything like that, So it's just kind of like, but I'm just saying it's a
like
lot of control. Go ahead.
I gotta so like for example, you guys know that I'm moving down to Miami for the winter, and I moved up my timeline or whatever because it's like, yo, with all of this lockdown and stuff, I have no reason to be here. But anyway, more importantly, in addition to my family, I was taking my niece, and she's like 24 years old, and we real cool, whatever. And I was like, yo, I got an extra room in my condo down there. You want to roll, spend your winter? And she like, yeah, I can do my job remote, whatever. She met a guy, right? 24 years old, met a dude. Within a week, she was like, yo, I'm not going to be able to go time because, you know what I'm saying? I think I want to be locked down. It's like, yo, you don't want to be. I didn't say this because I don't tell nobody what to do. But in my mind and everybody else's mind, they're like, you actually gonna literally cancel everything that you're doing to be up under this person. And that's just, when you brought up the subject, JR, it immediately made me flash back to that conversation because it's like, yo, you known this person for a week, and now you about to smother them and say that, yo, I can't even go and do anything that I've already had planned for months in order to make sure that I'm up under you. And she up under him 24/7. Like within a week, they have both his parents and all. It's like, yo, I'm straight, fam. I wouldn't even want a girl like that, but I'm straight. I'm good.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think guys need to understand that the individual, well, men and women, are going to do what they want to do, no matter who they're around. I kind of frown up when people say, "Why don't want you to hang with that person?" It's like that person is not influencing that person to do anything that they wouldn't do, even if that person wasn't around.
That's right.
I think that it's a huge insecurity. I think that if it's me, I would want my significant other to go out there. Go ahead and test the wind. If you fly, then you just fly. At least I know what type of woman that I have. You can't hold her. You can't hold her hostage. If she want to be free, let her be free. You can't. It's too much stress. Like Anton said earlier. Just imagine following somebody every move and living your life. It's just too much time, too much energy that you could be doing something else. So I mean that 24/7, and then the people that's not going out, that's not doing them, that's missing out on trips with the guys or spending time with their friends or just getting a breath of fresh air, even picking up a new hobby. I encourage you to do so. You don't have to be up under that woman 24/7.
Man.
I understand how it started. It don't necessarily mean that you got to stay that way.
Yeah.
Tell it, communicate with it and say, hey, I want to get out. You can't be trying to creep up to the room and, hey, the guys want to do this long ass, sorry reason as to why, you trying to get out the house. Just be one like, I want to get out. I need a break. I need some air. I want to breathe.
I need to move.
Right. That's only going to make you a better person. So I encourage you, anybody, a woman or man, to step up and say that. If you have trust issues, believe me, it didn't start there. You've always had it, and it's always been there. Let that person breathe. If they're going to do something, let them do what they do.
Listen, I go to the store at least once every couple days just to get away. I be gone for like 2 hours. I mean, sometimes, I need some space away from my kids and everybody in the house. So it just is what it is. Like, I have to do that. And if I do not get to go to do that for like a couple hours, I would probably lose my mind. So I feel like that is necessary. And like, same with my man, he have to leave. He be like, look, I got to go somewhere where I don't care where I'm going. In the pandemic, I gotta leave, and I'm like, cool. We all need our space, so.